get this guy started. Michelle, we typically go through a little bit different format, but since we have you on today, and first of all, thanks for your time and
of
for
course.
Coming on and answering questions and stuff like that for us. Do I need to make you the host or at all? Or will you just be kind of doing a Q&A?
Well, I have a presentation.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like I can go through like a presentation with like slides, and then I can just open it up to questions if that works for you.
Yeah, that's perfect. And you can keep it to about 10-15 minutes. That way we don't overtake your time and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the host. And then as we're going from there, so you've got a very small contingent of our guys on, a couple leaders and a couple of our more premier agents, if you will. And we try to, every Friday we get together outside of the the FES, Final Expense Services. We get together on Fridays, go over our numbers, those kind of things, talk about just some accolades, and we try to have professionals on like yourself that represent some of the carriers and give you guys an opportunity to go over your products so that we can sell more of them. Just so you know this, Michelle, in reference to our group, we've got about probably 65, I'd say between 60 and 75 agents on our team, Genesis Worldwide, and a couple of other our affiliates that are here with us, or that are attached to us, if you will. And you guys are usually every week, usually number one or number two. And yeah, Rural Neighbors is in the town that I was born and raised in, Rock Island, Illinois. So
great.
Guys as well. So I'm very familiar with Rural Neighbors. I have a lot of people that I grew up with that are work at Rural Neighbors as well. So
anyway. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm just right across the river over in Davenport. So
okay, yeah, very familiar. So without any further ado, Michelle, floor is yours.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the call today. I'm just going to go through a couple of things here, and then that way there's time for questions at the end. But I'm Michelle. I'm the Regional Sales Executive at Rural Neighbors. I've worked at Rural Neighbors for 16 years. I've worked with FS for probably 15 of the 16 years, just in just different formats. I used to work in contracting and commissions and kind of worked my way up through the organization. So just a little bit about Rural Neighbors, if you're not familiar with us. Rural Neighbors was founded back in 1895. So at that time, women and children actually could not have life insurance, which seems kind of crazy in this day and age. So 9 women in Council Bluffs, Iowa, got together and founded Rural Neighbors. So we've been a women-led organization since 1895. We are a fraternal organization as well, meaning that we're a not-for-profit. We have member savings. We do a lot of community activities, giving money back out into the community. As an agent, you have access to our member savings, same as your client. So you write one piece of business with Rural Neighbors, you're going to get one of these cards here. This card is to access your member savings that you as the agent are able to use. The same thing as your client. You write a piece of business with Rural Neighbors, they're going to get the card from us. They get it separately from their policy, and then they have access to the savings that I'm going to talk about very quickly before I move on to product. We do have this member app. This is only for the member savings. So this is just something nice that if you do talk about member savings when you're selling Rural Neighbors, if your client has a question, you can pop it up on your phone. It's a very nice looking app, very easy to use. It does have push notifications on it. They send out something every other week. So it's kind of a nice reminder to your client that, hey, look at this great product that I have, but I also get savings added to it. It's just kind of a nice reminder for your client. So this is just an example of one of the push notifications that we've sent out. So kind of talking about the different savings, we have a whole site that has to do with member savings, as far as like you're able to go on a marketplace and save money on different things. But we were trying to come up with something that really worked for our clients. So in the industry, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're known as being diabetic friendly. So I'm going to talk about that for Final Expense in a moment. So we actually came up with a discount on diabetic supplies. So you can literally talk to your client because they have diabetes and you're like, oh, great, I have this great company I can put you with. And not only do you get life insurance from them, you actually can get 10 to 50% off your diabetic testing supplies. The nice thing is it also gets sent directly to them, so they don't have to go out or do anything. It's like a free shipping directly to their home. Legal services, this is probably our most used of all of our member savings. And again, you as the agent have access to this as well. You get $500 right off the bat is for a free simple will. That's the value of a free simple will. You buy life insurance, you're automatically able to get something that's worth $500. So that's one of the great savings. Also, just calling and asking questions of an attorney. If you've ever had a hard time filling out a document, or you just had some questions, or I have an office that I work with that uses it for traffic tickets. They call and they're like, hey, can I get out of this traffic ticket? Literally, that's what they use it for. That's a free service as well. So those are the opportunities that you have with the legal services. Vision is 20 to 60% off. That's for your eyewear. Exams are 10 to 30% off. You can get discounts on your contacts. The other nice thing is LASIK.
Girl, stop.
If you have LASIK,
Hold on one second. Hey guys, hold on. Michelle, I'm gonna mute actually, I think you, because you have control. Guys, if you guys would mute, that'd be great. Joe Waters, if you would mute, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, okay,
Waters, just please mute.
let me get at it. Hold on.
okay. So LASIK is something else that you can get, and that's about a 50% savings. So it's like basically buy one, I get one free. The nice thing on the app that I mentioned, you can go on there and it shows you specifically, like, this is good for contacts. This one is a good place to go for LASIK. So it really kind of breaks it out for you. All right. The last one that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to move over to products so that I don't take up too much of your time today and have time for questions, is our member relief fund. Now, this particular benefit is only for those who have life insurance with Royal Neighbors. So for this one, you have to apply online, or you can call it over the phone. There's a few simple questions to answer, but this is for somebody who has a serious illness, personal injury, or some type of natural disaster. So for example, everybody in Florida that just went through that horrible hurricane, anybody in Florida who has Royal Neighbors life insurance is able to apply for this $200 check if they had any type of damage. And pretty much there's whole sections of areas that had some type of damage. So you typically hear that life insurance companies pay out for claims, right? That's really the only reason people get checks from life insurance companies. So this is something that your client can apply for once a year. So it's like every 12 months. And it's kind of the honor system. We don't make you send in pictures or any kind of proof or anything like that. You just answer a few questions, and then a check is able to go out to them. If there's multiple clients in the household, they're all able to apply for the $200. So it's kind of a nice benefit when you just need maybe a little bit of help. You know, $200 isn't a ton of money, but if you have some type of damage and you just need to go to like Home Depot and buy some supplies, that's something that's just really going to help you. Or maybe you aren't able to work because you are really sick, or you like broke your arm. You know, again, maybe that $200 can go to buy groceries for your family. So that's our member savings. There's way more to it than that, but like I said, I wanted to have time to talk about our product. So I will answer questions about that at the end here. I'm going to jump right into our final expense. So final expense is our bread and butter product. This is what we are known for in the industry. This is by far and wide what we sell the most of as far as a product. So kind of the highlights of the product, ages 50 to 80, our face is 7,000 to 30,000. We don't currently have graded death benefit. Next year, we have it's a new product, basically the same kind of background as the current product, just has a lot more sizzle to it. So that's going to come out next year sometime. So graded will be added back in at that point. We have an e-app. Our e-app can be done face-to-face or remotely now. So when the little button pops up when you're doing an e-app now, you're either in person, meaning your client is literally with you, or remote, they're somewhere else. So there's been a little confusion on which one is which. Remote means they're just not with you, okay? Voice signature, you can do that in the home. You can do this as a three-way call as well. So if you don't happen to be with your client, you can always do a three-way call I would recommend now that we have the e-app that can be done remotely that you do it that way because it's just much faster and easier. Our application is a simple yes, no application. Pretty cut and dry, I would say, as far as whether or not, your client can get approved with us. We don't have a height and weight chart. That's one of the big things that we have or do as a carrier that not a lot of other carriers still do. So no height and weight chart, and diabetic friendly. I'm going to talk about that again in a moment. We do have the medical approval early in the process that I'm going to show you. We have point of sale decision. We have Social Security billing. Probably most important to all of you on the phone, we pay commissions on approval. So you write an app today, say it can't draft until next month, like the beginning of next month. You actually get paid today. You don't get paid when it drafts the first time. You get paid when it gets approved with Royal Neighbors, okay? This is how you get to the e-app. You log into our agent portal. Right at the very top, we make it easy for you to find our final expense e-app. The plan information screen. So you're going through your e-app, you put in your information as the agent, your client's information, you answer the medical questions. Back in the background, the little robot, I like to say, is dancing around. He makes a decision. Once you get to the plan information screen, the screen here, your client is medically approved. So you can go, whew, all right. Now I know Mrs. Smith is medically approved. Now I'm going to ask her for her beneficiary, her bank information, all that extra detail that if your client's going to be declined, you wouldn't need to put in. So once you get to this screen, just know your client is medically approved as you're going through the rest of the process. And this is about 5 minutes in. So in about 5 minutes, your client's medically approved before you fill out the rest of the application. Payment information screen. This is just a way to upsell your clients. We actually had, a couple of people from EFIS actually flew to Rock Island and helped us with this e-app, putting it together. So this is one of the things they wanted to have put in here. It's just a way to upsell. Your client already is medically approved. When you get to this screen, you're like, Mrs. Smith, I quoted you $53.41. You can even just as easily ask them, would you like just a even face them or even amount to come out of your account? So instead of $53.41, we can do $55. Okay, so $55, little extra premium, a little extra face amount for your client. Okay. Or, Mrs. Smith, hey, we know you're medically approved. I know you weren't really sure what you wanted to do with the insurance because you didn't know if you'd get approved. Now you're approved. You want to do $60. So $60, that's going to buy them about $1,200 extra face amount. If they choose either of these options, you just click on it and it'll update the whole entire app for you. So you don't have to go back and do anything. Again, just a way to upsell your client. Social Security billing. This is one of the things that we were told is a must to be in the process. So this is your client's going to get their money on the first, third, second, third, fourth Wednesday. We draft based on that schedule. So we're still drafting the client's account, but it's based on when they get the money. So the first falls on a Sunday, bank's closed. The client literally gets their money the prior Friday. So we used to draft on Monday. Guess what? A lot of times there's no money there. Okay. So we're like, well, that's no good. So we started drafting based on the Social Security schedule. So they get their money Friday. We draft on Friday too. So we're literally hitting their bank at like the same time their money is coming in so that the persistency is good on the product. So it increased by like over 25 cents, like 25% immediately when we started doing this. So if your client is getting their money based on the Social Security schedule, please pick this as their draft date because it's really good for you and for the client. That's really it. It's a really easy process to go through our e-app. You can write it anytime, 24/7, 365. I had an agent text me on Christmas to ask me if he could write an app that day on his grandmother. And I'm like, you sure can. It doesn't matter when it is. That's the nice thing about the e-app. You can write it anytime. You go through the whole process that takes anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. You're going to get to this screen, and this screen here is going to tell you they're approved and it's getting sent over to Royal Neighbors. Okay. So I'm going to skip through. I did talk about how we had a phone app, a paper app. I would recommend just carrying one paper app. As you're going through the e-app, please take your time. Don't mark something as a yes. That should be a no. If that happens, we're not able to collect all the information if it becomes a decline and you click something on accident. So you would need a paper app for it to be reconsidered. That's really the only reason I've ever used a paper app now with the EAP process, because it's so fast. Highlights of the product. It is a yes/no application. Final expense, as far as all products are concerned, pays the highest commission out to agents. Height and weight chart, there's not one. Doesn't matter if they're over or under, doesn't matter. You don't even have to ask them the question, which is great. That's one less thing that you have to ask about. Diabetic friendly. So that question on the application is typically prior to the age of 50, did you take insulin shots? Our question is prior to age of 30. We also take diabetic neuropathy. That's not something, I only know one other carrier that actually takes that, and they take it as graded. They don't take it as standard. So diabetic neuropathy, like your client's taking gabapentin, right? How many carriers take that? We take it. So we're good with that. You do get the point of sale decision. So you know already, you're like, great, my client's approved. I'm good to go. We have Social Security billing. The draft date can be pushed out for 45 days for final expense. We do understand that sometimes, there may be a replacement situation. Your client, wants to start the next month, whatever the case may be. You can push that draft date out. But commissions are sent right away based on approval. So again, you got your client medically approved in the house, your screen popped up, told you they were approved. You can skip out to your car on your way out because your commissions are on the way to the bank for you, which is always great. And we do have our own convention trip. We haven't announced our 2024 location, but 2023 is to Scotland. So 100% of all of the business you write for final expense, 100% of the annualized premium is how many points you get. You write $1,000 annualized premium, you're going to get 1,000 points from us. Okay. Corey, I'm going to go ahead. Do you want to open it up for questions?
Yeah, first of all, this has been fantastic, and thank you.
Yeah.
If there are any, if you want to stay here, the highlights is the main thing. I know the people hear the last thing you say, right? You talk for 30 minutes, say the last couple of minutes. So the fact that, and let's be honest here, the fact that you guys are able to get paid faster, be able to get paid right up on basically on submission, really. The fact that your application, you find out in the first couple of minutes, which I think is really smart. First couple of minutes of the application, instead of having to go through, get all the information, push the button, then it runs through just to tell you that you're declined. You find that out way ahead of time. Being able to push, I used to think, pushing it out 45 down, like that's a bad thing. But if they're in Social Security billing, you only have those 5 dates, first, third, right, and Wednesdays. So you guys really helped out with that. And then the no height and weight, that's huge. That's big time. So no, this has been fantastic. We'll take a couple minutes. So first of all, thanks again, Michelle, for your time. Very thorough presentation, very on point in reference to time. So any questions that anybody has specifically about, I guess, the highlights or anything for Michelle?
I have a question. The diabetic discounts, can that be used in conjunction with insurance?
Like their health insurance, you mean?
Yes.
No, it's a discount from a very specific place. So if they use their health with that, I am not sure how that works, but I just know that they can get a discount from that location. There is a toll-free number that they can call and get like more specific information. So I don't know if they have like a Medicare supplement or something like that. The team that we work with, that it goes specifically to a group that works for Royal Neighbors. So they know how everything works. So I would just say that maybe they could reach out and ask that question if they're concerned.
Okay, and then I have one more question. The only Royal Neighbors app that I see is Royal Neighbors Agent Access. I don't see like a member savings app coming up.
So I can scroll back up. This is actually a live. If you click on the QR code, let's see. If you click on the QR code, it'll pop up for you.
Okay, let me take a picture of that.
Oh, Michelle, I forget.
Under member savings. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Can you send me a copy of your, a lot of our guys like trips and stuff like that. I wasn't aware of that. Can you send an email out to me? We communicate with our team through a communication app, and I can push that out there every day, which makes me feel like more. And I literally just got a text message, like literally as we're sitting here talking. And the agent just said, "This is awesome. I just wrote a Royal Neighbors this morning."
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
Okay, just so you guys know, that app is titled RNA Member Programs.
Thank you. And I would just say, we sent an email out yesterday. So Agent Access is actually our quoting tool that we have. And that one's getting updated this weekend. So I saw like the sneak peek of it. It's going to have a lot more information and kind of like, things like, hey, I want to send a quote to my client, which I know you guys don't normally do something like that. But if you're in the field and your agent for some reason has difficulty and you need to send them a quote, you can like email a quote to them. But there's a lot of other neat functionality out there. So the email went out to everybody yesterday. If you didn't see it, just keep an eye on that because we are switching over to our new app tomorrow for quoting and our app loader and all of that stuff as far as like working as an agent, not the member part.
Got it. Thanks, Renee.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Michelle?
Good morning, Michelle. This is Greg. I kind of got on late because I was actually with two clients writing some Royal Neighbors policy.
Fantastic.
But, I know you're probably talking mostly about final expense. Are there different qualifications? I mean, I know there are, but different rules for processing or anything for the jet applications?
Yeah, so the jet application, so we have Jet Whole Life and Jet Term. It is an e-app as well. So you go onto our agent portal, you can click on Jet e-app and it'll pop up the app for you. But yes, so final expense, the nice thing about it is it's just a yes, no application. Pretty easy to figure out. The Jet is your client does have to be healthier to qualify for the Jet app. So kind of my example I typically like to use is, I've gone and run appointments with agents in the past, and you have your client and you ask them to get their prescriptions and they come out with a basket of prescriptions. That's your final expense client. Okay. Your client comes out with maybe like 1 to 2 prescriptions. There is a height and weight chart for Jet. So you have to like look at the height and weight chart, but you're like, you know what? This client, they just got back from a 3-mile walk, right? This is probably somebody who is pretty healthy. I can write Jet Whole Life. Jet Whole Life is also for younger ages. So if you're meeting with younger clients, that's probably the product for them. But as far as your seniors that you're writing, if you're looking at a product because you're like, this client's too healthy for final expense, you can definitely look at our Jet product.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of times I'll start off, with a final expense client, and then they'll give me their kids or their grandkids and referrals, and I do well with referrals. And like the ones today, one was 46 and her son was 21.
Perfect. Yeah.
So they fell into that category. So I just
they would definitely be great options for our Jet product for sure.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great questions, Pitts. 1 or 2 more questions for Michelle. We'll let her get it back about her day, and then we'll cover our numbers for those of you guys that want to stay on for that. Anybody else have any more questions?
Yeah, I have a question for Michelle. This is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Michelle, I've heard rumors that your final expense product is friendly towards psych meds. I haven't written enough of it yet to know. Is that true? And can you talk around that a little bit?
I don't know if there's like a specific med that you're referring to. So we do have on our agent portal, we do have where you can look up the prescriptions, and it's only for final expense. So if there's ever a prescription and you're like, hey, I don't know if we're going to take this or not, you can go type it in and it'll tell you like if it's going to be a decline med or not. So you can look as far as prescriptions, but is there like a condition that you're looking at? Like a specific condition that you're like questioning?
Bipolar is one that I've heard that you do well.
Bipolar, yep, we're good with bipolar. I have a list of conditions. I'm not allowed to send this out, but if there's like any other conditions that you're curious about, I have like a list that has a lot of different conditions on it.
Great, thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, but bipolar, we're definitely good with bipolar.
Good question, Jeff. Thanks. Michelle, thanks again for your time. If you could send me, when you get a chance, if you could please email me a copy of the list or for the trip, the Scotland trip.
Yep, I'll get that sent over to you in just a few minutes. And like I said, our 2024 trip location, that should be coming out in the next, I don't know, probably like a couple of months, because they're just working on like starting that process. So we should be releasing that soon.
Awesome. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Happy Friday.
Same to you. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, crew. I'm going to share my screen for those of you guys that like to stay on. Appreciate you guys getting on and hope you guys get something out of these, of course, on Fridays. So let me go ahead and share this. Let's see. There we go. Having some technology issues this morning for whatever reason, but we will battle through it. All right. So you guys know about family business at this point. I'm not going to beat this to death. You guys definitely write family business. Just make sure we know ahead of time. Reach out to your leadership person. And again, that business will have to be as earned. A lot of times if somebody decides to leave, so does that business. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, we have the meeting Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central to 8:30. You guys are very aware of that. Again, if you guys haven't attended this meeting with Holden, just take some time. Once you get on there, he's just a plethora of information. The stuff that he covers, just final expense related on Monday, and he also does the same thing on Wednesday. But the Wednesday meeting is centered around Medicare. So Holden sends out a ton of email in reference to communicating. You guys know I send a ton of stuff out there on band to keep you guys abreast of what's going on. Monday is final expense, excuse me, and then Wednesday is Meds Up. We just had Michelle on. You guys know we either have a leadership person or we'll have a carrier rep on to kind of, give some more tactical information about things, carriers, things you can do in the field, not just the training that Ben provides every single morning, which is very solid. Reference to numbers, we have, which I'm very excited. We're getting back into the 20s again with strings. So pretty exciting here. So we got Miss Jen Sanders at 2 weeks. We got Miss Pam Burrows with the Bearded Bikers at 2 weeks. Jeremy Collins, 2 weeks. Taylor Boland here in St. Louis at 2 weeks. Tim Belo, 2 weeks. Mike DePati, 2 weeks. In reference to our 4-week people, we got Mr. Mark Williams back in the action 4 weeks in a row, Josh Dutton and Alex D. 6-week people, we got myself and we got Charles Shulman. Let's see, 9 weeks, getting into the tall cotton here. We got Mr. Robert Golden, great job, Robert, and Colton Kelly at 9 weeks. Our 11-week people, Mr. Donnie Young, leader of the Bearded Bikers, Justin A. at 11 weeks. Josh Sullivan is at 12 weeks and already wrote an application this morning, so good on Josh. 14 weeks, Ryan Valet, so stepped over that 13-week mark and getting ready to step into the second quarter, if you will, in reference to writing apps. We got Mr. The baby man of himself, Mr. Cody Wetzel. Cody, I think I saw you on. Congratulations to you and your family and your new addition. It's awesome to see the pictures on Facebook and just to see the love for you and your family and you guys adding another teammate, if you will. Congratulations to you, your wife, and your children, and your 16-week app stream. Edward Mendez, not much you can say about ETE, just does it all. He's building, he's growing, the fastest growing team in our segment, maybe even at Final Expense Services, and still manages to go on right business every single week, 18 weeks for Edward. And then Renee Barker, what can we say? Even transitioning over from one IMO to the next, 76 weeks in a row that she's protected at least one family. Great job, Renee, and congratulations to you as well. Reference to our numbers for this week. We'll go from the bottom up, if you will. 3 MAPDs for Renee, even though she's been traveling like crazy and trying to make things happen at the Blitz. We got Mr. Jeremy S. at 225, Justin A. at 459, Mr. Jeff Scott at 660, into the top 20. Into the top 20, we got Mr. Donnie Young, 1140. Naomi Gomez comes in yesterday at 1156. Jeremy Collins at 1290. Josh Dutton, 1466. Pam Burrows, 1476. Christy Polsak gets an app at 1548. That's her biggest app to date. You guys still see my screen? I assume that's a yes. Thank you. I appreciate that, Pitts. Let's see, where was I at? Christy Polsak, 1548. Alex D, 1603. Tim Belo, 4 applications for 1661. Ryan V, 1 MAPD and also a final expense for 1856. You got myself there. You got Charles Shulman at 1912. Mike DePati, 3 applications for 1919. And there's the new dad again, Cody Wetzel, 2520 with one application there. Mark, the great one, Williams, $3,570, 5 applications. Another solid week, Mark. Congratulations. Donnie Young at 3814. And cracking our top 5 again, Taylor Bolin, 4141, 3 applications. Josh Sutton, 4230, and already written an app this morning on 1 application there. That's a big app. And then we got Mr. Robert Johnson, $5,136, 3 applications there. And the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. GP, also wrote a Royal Neighbors this morning to get himself started. Awesome week, GP, at 5562, 7 total applications. Well done. And not to be outdone by Gregory. Edward had a $12,251 day earlier this week. Guys, 23 applications. I don't think you can do it much better than that. And even added a couple MAPDs to knock that out there. Total 67,926 for the week, 72 total applications with a total of 6 MAPDs. In reference to last week, our top 5, we got Miss Pam Burrows coming in the 5th spot with the Bearded Bikers at 4269, 6 total applications. Solid job for Pam. We got Ash at 4740, 4 applications. Josh Dutton, $5,004, 7 total applications. Donnie Young, 5306. Bearded Bikers are taking over there. And then, of course, no surprise there, Cody Wetzel, $6,538, 6 total applications, and 4 MAPDs. That is flat getting it done. Congratulations there. Guys, again, give us a year. We'll give you a career. You know, this is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but we know we can all make it happen here. So thank you guys for your time. Appreciate all that you guys do. If you guys need anything, let us know. And bye for now.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.